Alright, there we go. There it is. What's going on? Good morning, y'all. Low-key wasn't gonna stream today, but haven't streamed in a minute, so fuck it. Let me post a link real quick before I get active. We got like 7 minutes till we open. Alright, so for those that don't trade with me or don't really know what we've been looking at, I'm watching gold right here for a potential pullback. We have multiple open gaps below. We have another open gap here. So a couple gaps. What you want to see potentially is a breakdown below this 287.50 level. This might be a mini head and shoulders on the lower time frame. Get that breakdown, then maybe we can see this, and then from here potentially come down and retest that 265-ish zone. But pretty nice setup on gold here. What else are we watching today from here? From here, I'm not really touching too much. I'm not too interested in mega caps. I already have some open trades for that, but I want to look to potentially add something on the names that haven't moved. So if you don't have any bearish trades in your portfolio, these names can potentially work. PM is one of them. I'll focus the 3 hour. So if we start falling below, let's get rid of whatever, I'll leave it. If we start slipping today below 158.50-ish, 157.50, we have this whole gap right here from earnings, which would potentially be your target. So lose this level, come test this. Once we lose that, we have these targets, and then if these targets are lost, that's when you can potentially get this drop over here. But yeah, PM pretty decent sell setup here if you don't have anything bearish in your port. PG looks decent as well, but I probably prefer PM over it. J&J we already took, this already paid. We're at this point in the path, so technically I would not be surprised if they do bounce it to these levels before coming back down. But you know, they can also just go straight down if they want to. So I want to see what J&J does at the open today. I already trimmed a decent amount of my contracts, but that was a pretty nice trade. Axom is decent. If you rather take CVX, that's fine as well, I guess, but levels wise, I think Axom looks a little better. So your call. I probably won't touch these myself, but they look decent. McDonald's, I am in a small short position here, and to the 618, I want to see us come down back to the point of control. If at any point we get above the 618, we're probably going to come back to the 786, where I will re-short or add to my sells depending what I decide to do for this move down. But ideally, I want us to stay below the 618 and come down. So yeah, I'll see if we start breaking above that 618. One of two things for those that are short with me: you can take them off and wait to potentially re-short up here, or if you have time on those swings and you want to eat the you know, the small loss, that's fine. Just scale into it up here if you have the money, and then up here you would want to see this. If at any point we get above 319.75, above 320, at that point I would say the sells are null, and I'd refrain from being short above those levels. But into here, I'm okay with that. Let's see. We got 2 minutes. All right, I'm about to lock in. Ooh, what is that wick on Bitcoin? Bitcoin's probably gonna flush. Bitcoin has a disgusting wick, I just noticed from yesterday. What the fuck is that? Berkshire is decent for a trade. Let me throw it up here. Fuck Coca-Cola. Alright, so these are the names I'm gonna be watching right now, right here at open for a potential trade. Most of the names I'm looking for a breach of levels for potential sells, and then J&J, I want to see what it does at this 153. Do we hold yesterday's low and bounce, or make new lows? Don't force sells at open. Be patient. Let's see what we get. What? All right, let's see. Hey, Abbott's cool if you want, bro, but I probably won't take Abbott. McDonald's open in green, so Pilo, I'm pretty sure you green here. I don't know if Pilo's in the chat, but Pilo, you should be green on McDonald's here. Nothing crazy, like 25%. Still waiting for spreads to settle. Fiji, small flip here. I might take a GOD. Let's check what they're at. So GOD has Wednesday expiration contracts. Let me see what they're charging for those. Not bad. I'm gonna nibble super small size. Just a couple contracts probably. Let's see if I get filled at 26. So I just placed an order at bid. I doubt I'm gonna get filled, but I'm gonna be patient. If they fill me at bid, cool. If not, I'll see if we. So let me share the setup real quick. Can I get off this? Yeah, we're chilling. So essentially the thesis is get a flip here on gold from these levels, come down to retest the lows from what was this, yesterday. Yeah, so retest these lows, but you want to see a flip here. I set an order at the bid right now, so if we get any pop up here, hopefully I'll get my order filled. If I don't get it filled, I'll consider replacing my order closer to the mid, but I'm not gonna overpay for a trade that hasn't even confirmed. So I'd rather leave my my orders at bid. And again, like right now that we're coming up a bit, if we do pop to these levels, maybe they'll fill me at bid. If not, if we manage to start flipping down from wherever, then I'll replace to mid. But right now I'm gonna be patient, see if they fill me. PG small bounce, J&J bouncing off those lows. If J&J bounces, let's see, where do I have the upside to? So it can come up to maybe like 157.25, so about a $3 pop. So let's see, maybe I'll wait to see after J&J gets into that 157 level, if it fades from there before putting on any more sells. Did they fill me on gold? I haven't gotten filled on gold, but the spreads are, bro, there's no way. How have I not gotten filled on that? Alright, that's weird. Not sure why, but I had the spreads look decent here on gold. If anyone wants to take this potential setup right here for the fade, it's not terrible. I nibbled small size on today's expiration. If you want to grab more time, that's fine, but I'm gonna try to scalp this right now if we fade off these levels. Let me do 6 charts. Could y'all see the charts? Should I try doing, oh, let me full screen this. There we go. Should I try doing just 6 charts? What is this? Oh, UNH triggering below 520 here. I don't even have T-Mobile up here. Let me put T-Mobile up here. Ah, shit, I might have missed T-Mobile for the ad. So I shared this setup in the room. If anyone took it yesterday, you're probably green here, or if you even took it today, I'd open your green on it. 30% on McDonald's. Fuck, slept on T-Mobile. Goofy OB's baby shit. That's what I get for trying to hop on a stream. No, I'm just fine. What y'all trading? Let me know. Anybody in any trades? So if y'all in my room, you probably might be in some T-Mobile, PG, McDonald's, PM. Gold. We're in gold too. I need gold to flip. I'm tired of that shorty plan. Let's see what the mega's doing. Oh, Berkshire's not a bad trade. If anybody want to take that, let me check premiums. I might make that an official trade. It hasn't moved. They're a little pricey, but I might rock one. I nibbled on do I have it up here? Yeah, I do right here. So the thesis is pretty much a sell on Berkshire here. Let's see what time frame looks the best. Maybe the 45. So essentially this is the EQ. All that means that's a 50% range. The 50% midpoint of yesterday's range. So yesterday you have your, you can't see it in that color. This is your low, this is your high from yesterday, this is the midpoint. If we're below this midpoint, you have selling pressure. If you're above the midpoint, you have buying pressure back to the high. So we either go back to the high, back to the low. The thesis is stay below EQ and short back down to those lows. Depending how aggressive you want to be, if you want to grab a swing, that's cool. If you want to trade a weekly, that's cool. But if you're a new trader and you're not fast and you don't know how to manage trades and you're trading weekly, 0 DTs, any fast stuff like that, and you don't really know what you're doing, you're gonna lose your money, bro. Keeping it a bug with you. So you better off practicing with time, swinging shit, so you get the hang of it. but I did nibble weeklies, so do what y'all want. I grabbed some 530s. They're a little pricey, but if they get in the money and we get this drop right here that we had last week, those can pay pretty nice, so fuck it. PG broke down below back that 169.70 level we talked about yesterday. T-Mobile came down already about $4, $3, so a nice move. Slept on the Riyadh today, but fuck it. And gold flipped off these levels we discussed. So if you took that GOD trade, again, don't overpay for shit. You could have put your orders at bid or even below bid and gotten filled. Don't be chasing, bro. But yeah, gold might pay right here. Let's see what's up. Anyone take any of the setups I said? It should be up, I think. The GOD small greens, PG green. PG was red yesterday at close. They back green, so good suit. Where's J&J at? J&J new lows? Nah, we're getting that bounce so far. Let's see if they go for that 157 level we mentioned. And then fade from there. Alright, so for PM, I want to see us start losing below previous day low. If that does happen, that's going to be a good sign for the bears or anyone in shorts. But if they start bouncing off of these previous day lows, that's not really going to be, you know, optimal here. So if you're short and we start bouncing off these lows, if you, because I know not everybody, if you're under PDT, I know you can't just sell shit, get back in. So up to you if you want to hold or not. But if we do bounce off these lows, we can push for the highs. So you're probably better off getting rid of them, putting them back on later. But again, if you don't have the liberty of doing that, or if it's a swing, you cool. But if it's 0 DTE or weekly or something like that, you already know on any pop you're gonna take a hit. Like gold, for example, right here. So far, so good in terms of following the path. But I need to see us stay below these highs and start putting in new lows. So this would be your resistance up here. This is your current support. So you want to see us break below the support and put in these new lows right here. At any point, if you start breaking above these previous highs, which is the quote unquote resistance, then your setup is technically invalid. And if you look left, there's not much here, right? So let's go like this. If they take this resistance out, they got open there above 290.50, 290. So this is probably going to be a target if they manage to break out above that. Just to be clear, I share setups, but you got to be mindful that at any point your setup can be invalidated, and that's fine. You know, if your setup is invalid, your setup is invalid, bro. Just move on to the next trade. The problem with us as traders is that, you know, we're stubborn, and instead of just trimming it once our trade is invalid, you're gonna hold on to that shit, bro. That shit gonna break out. You're gonna be, you know, down 50% or some dumbass shit, and you still gonna hold. Like, that's just goofy, bro. The minute your setup's invalid, exit, just re-enter later. If you do get these targets, all right, you could re-short up here for way less. But another thing is also being patient. So like right now, the setup's still technically valid. We have a tiny open gap right here. So no reason to get out. Sometimes on small candles, you get shaken out of trades, and then 5 minutes later, the trade's up a fuckload, and you're like, ah, shit, I should just wait a little bit longer. So you got to be patient. holding trades, but you also gotta know when to cut them. You can't sit on them too long. Abbott selling, you should have taken it, bro. I didn't take it myself. I told you it's a decent setup, but I just don't really like it. Not that I don't like it, just for reference, let's say like PM's up here. So it's like, yeah, you can short Abbott down here, but in terms of technicals, I'd rather short the names that are still closer to the highs. There's more money to finesse on, but Abbott's cool. You got GP right here into 130, so if we don't get under that, we're probably not gonna break down on it. Oh, yes, sir. Nice little flip right here on gold. So that's what I'm talking about, being patient. If you've seen this little push up, you've been like, oh shit, I'm getting out my sales. They gonna fuck me. Nah, bro. You literally just had to wait 2 candles. Now you're getting paid. PM about to give up those levels we were talking about. Fuck, I hadn't even looked at Berkshire. Fuck you. The most expensive trade in this bitch. Trying to play with me. Too early to add. So I got a rule myself. I don't add ever on a trade. So I have different rules. One is time based, one is level based, one is risk based. So I'll never add to an option unless it's down at least 33 to 50%. And you guys are probably like, what the fuck, 33, 50%? You hold that? Like, yes, bro. You can't tell me you want to make 1,000% on a trade and you can't see a little bit of drawdown. If you go all in on the first set, well, no shit, you're gonna get fucked. But if you don't add and you know how to scale into a trade, that first loss isn't really a loss. It's just an opportunity to get in at better prices. But if you go in full size from the jump and now you're doubling down, tripling down on a trade, then you fucking up. You gotta do, you gotta start with smaller size. Oh shit, gold pain right now. So if anyone took that, let me check how much they're up. 35% on GLD right here and 20%. 25 on the other ones, depending what strike you grabbed, but not bad. If I ever get just right now, heads up in case we do get it, anytime I ever get 100% on a contract, I like to trim 50% or more, just in case. My bad, I'm distracted by all the trades I got right now. Gotta lock in. Yeah, so anytime a contract pays me over 100%, I like to get rid of 50% of the position or more to get risk free. Then you could hold on to your runners, literally stress free, knowing you don't have out of pocket money at risk. And if the trade does keep running, you'll hold a lot more comfortably, knowing it's literally just more profits, or, you know, giving up a bit of the profits, but you're not going to lose money. So it just completely changes your mentality and helps you hold on to those runners longer. 60% here on GLD, so nice little win. If you took it on size, 65 here. If you took it on size, not a bad win. 65% in about, I don't know, what time is it, 15 minutes? Berkshire flip already stopped playing with me. Debating adding. Oh, I added. Oh shit, McDonald's paying too. Let me check the chord. I haven't even checked the chord today. My bad, I'm managing some trades real quick. All right, bet. So GLD is testing EQ here. So again, if you guys don't know and you guys want to get this indicator on your own charts, it's free. It's called, let's see if I can get it. Fuck, not this one. This one, OTE. So OTE by 2 degrees. Again, all the EQ means it's the midpoint between yesterday's high and yesterday's low. So we're at the midpoint, which basically means it's a coin flip here. Back to the highs, lose the lows, back to the lows. But again, my bias is to the lows. We sold up here, and if we lose that EQ, like I said, yesterday's lows were our target, and that's potentially what we're gonna aim for here. If we do get to that level, I'm pretty sure, well, more than sure, the contracts are gonna be up over 100%. So definitely would take some profits into here, leave some runners maybe, or I'll take off full size, we'll see. But target 2, 286, target 3, 284.60, and then target 4 is gonna be down in 283. So, and those aren't my targets, those are calculated by a harmonic, which is free too. So HPV2, if y'all need that, I have a video on YouTube on all my indicators, so probably just check that out. They're not my indicators, just the indicators I use, just to be clear, and they're all free, so don't pay for shit. Ooh, PM, nice little breakdown. PG, not as much follow through. Let's see if we can get a little more follow through here on PG. So these are the overnight lows on PG at 168.66. If we could lose that, that'll be pretty nice. Wait, these aren't the overnight lows. Already broken. Bugging. My bad, y'all. But yeah, look at these setups on the higher time frame. Wait, not PG. PM is cleaner. Look at how clean this setup was, bruh. Clean. Could have loaded swing, scalps, whatever. Which indicator? The first or second one? Matter of fact, let me just send you the link. Hold on. You could get all of them. Hold up. Alright, so I just sent a link in the chat. That's a video I made some time ago. It covers all the indicators I use, how they work, why I use them. So just check that out. Yeah, it's just pretty expensive, bro. That's why I told you I wasn't touching it myself. And even on the technicals, the levels aren't as clean. GLD is already at 100%, so good soup. If anybody took GLD, 0 DTs, they hit 100% right now. Take some off. Yeah, take some off, get risk free if you want, because this is the level where we should or could trigger. So this is my sales trigger, 287.53. If we fail to get below this level, obviously we're gonna bounce. And if you already have 100% right here at a conflection point where you could either go up or down, anytime it's a coin flip for me, I like to take risk off. So it's a coin flip right here, honestly. Can we come down? Yes. And would I like that? Yes. But you're up 100%. Why not book half on this coin flip and you get risk free? We make new lows, you get paid more. We pop, you at least had already booked some profits. So that's generally what I would do on my trades. But yeah, that's where we are in that GLD trade right now. But regardless, 100% within the first 30 minutes of trading, not bad. OT something, so it's gonna be automatic OTE by FX4 living 2 degrees. And again, all those indicators are in that video I sent you, so just check out the video. I describe each indicator and it's a function, how I use it. Holding the WED for now. Holding what? Gold GLDT, or what are you talking about? Berkshire flipped here, so I'm glad I nibbled a little more at the top right here. Got a better price, lowered my average a little bit. Exxon selling too, so I called that out. Again, not a trade I was planning on taking. It was just a clean setup. When you're watching so much shit, like, you can't take everything and manage everything. I like sticking to a handful of names because it's easier to, you know, focus on the action on a few names. And at the same time, when you're trying to get out of orders, unless you already have preset limits or conditionals or whatever, you know, if you get a fast move in the market, sometimes you're scrambling to close shit. And if you have a grip of positions, it's going to take you a few minutes to close everything, you know, replace, cancel, didn't get filled, you know, all that bullshit. So you're going to lose some money keeping it a book. You're better off, you know, in my opinion, 3 trades max, 3-5 trades. Even 5 is a grip. I think 3 is decent. So you can get in and out of names faster if you need to. That's for tactical, aggressive scalping and stuff. Swings, not as big of a deal. UNH nice selling. Yeah, GLD is cool if you got the Wednesdays. I still think we can hit yesterday's lows today, but don't really want to force shit right here. So we're still below EQ. We just got to stay below that 287.53 and push down. But like I said, this is a 50-50 here somewhat. But I mean, we're below EQ, so that's a plus, I guess. The easy trade was short in the top. Right here, we could go either way, TBH. McDonald's is up over 50% for me, depending what y'all grabbed yesterday or today. Not sure how much y'all up, but McDonald's pretty nice. Where's Pilo at? Haven't seen him in the chat today. Is Afro even up? What was he in? I forgot. Oh yeah, he got McDonald's, Gold, T-Mobile. Damn, all his trades are up and this motherfucker's probably still asleep. Let me ping him real quick. Damn, I just realized my keyboard sound loud as hell. My bad. Sound like a secretary and shit. Look at that bounce on GLD. So again, those trades were up 100%. Could have been an easy trim and hold, or just full exit if you really wanted to. Let's see if we respect these highs here and push back down. But again, there's no reason for you not to take 100% win, get risk free, or at least take some type of profit. So if we stay below 288.10, I think the bears might still have a shot to come roll over, put in new lows, maybe from these highs. But again, into these lows, that was an easy book. Let's see what we get. Yeah, if I'm being honest with you guys, a lot of the names are basing here, so just be mindful what you're holding if you did get short at the open. So like McDonald's looks like we can come back up to these highs potentially. So if you're short any of the names I mentioned this morning, you didn't take profits on that fast drop, just be mindful. If we don't roll over here soon, you're gonna start getting paper cuts on those depending how long you hold. What do you check different time frames? I mean, why not, bro? You ever buy anything before? Shoes, car, house, food, anything, bro. Something super simple. Price of eggs. It's like you're asking me, why do I look what the price of eggs was a year ago? Why don't you? Like, I mean, if you shop consistently, you know the price of eggs has been going up. But till you really go back on different time frames, you're really not gonna know how much we really went up. So you gotta check different time frames, how much that we went up the last 30 minutes, the last day, the last week. So that's where you get your ranges and you calculate how much money you have to play with. You can't go buy a product and say I'm gonna sell it for $1 million. You gotta do your research first. What's the most it's sold for? What's the least it's sold for? When did it sell for those prices? So that's why you check different time frames. And look at that pop on gold, right back to that level I mentioned, literally to the penny. So again, those contracts were up 100%. This was the target I mentioned. We're right there. So you could have booked your 100% here, added up here for way less if you really wanted to. Or you don't even gotta add, just take the 100%. Because if we keep pushing up above this level, like I said, the sells and the bearish setup is gonna start to become invalidated. So you just had a 100% win, and if you didn't book, you're pretty much gonna let that trade go to waste. So you gotta take profits. Don't be greedy. 100% is great. And again, even though we have lower targets and we still think that can come, sometimes you're gonna be wrong, and you just gotta know how to manage your risk. Take risk off every chance you get. All right, so Apple looks like you might want to go to, let me bring this up over here. So if you're watching the megas, which I haven't been sharing just because I'm not focusing megas myself right now, they can potentially make new highs here. Shit, I wasn't supposed to move that. So you have this wick here on Apple, which could be a potential target. If we break out above this level, we're gonna come tag that. We can break out on Amazon, Google. They all have enticing setups to the upside. Netflix just triggered, so Netflix is leading a little bit here. Meta looks it's also going to want to bounce off these levels, so just be mindful what you're shorting if you are short, because mega caps look like they might want to make a run here. It could be a bull trap, but the setups are valid if they manage to trigger. And then SPY has a similar setup, so we're holding these lows. If we bounce off of here, we're gonna come back to these levels where we were at, and we might see that 587 test we mentioned that we never got. So be careful right here if you're short, if megas manage to break out, and it looks like they probably will. Let's flip back. One thing that is not terrible for us that we're shorting, so All right, it's somewhat of a rotation trade. They rotated into some of these names for safety, while tech has been selling off. So potentially we can see outflows from these names here and back into tech for a small short-term rally before, you know, the next decision point. But yeah, just be careful. Like I said, I'm not really touching megas here too much myself. This could be a trap, but the setups are valid to the upside if they manage to trigger, but it could be a trap. So I rather focus these names at all-time high where there is a much cleaner technical setup versus guessing on the megas at much further lows to take sales. It just doesn't make sense. So let me show you guys what I mean on a chart. What can I show you guys? I'll put it over PM. So this is the daily setup on PM, right? You guys see where we are in the setup. We're at the highs, haven't even really broken down. Still a lot of money to be made. We're gonna overlay AVGO and we're gonna overlay SPY on this. So if you see where we currently are in the setups, there was somewhat a full correction on these from the highs where we are right now on PM back down to these lows, right? So the thesis is these names might sell off a bit while these get bought a bit, maybe balance somewhere in the middle before we get the next leg or whatever. But again, I much rather short this up here than short this down here. And again, you can buy this here, but it's somewhat of a coin flip because if we lose these lows, you have these ranges right here. So just be mindful. But again, I much rather short the highs. That's why I'm taking these names over the megas here. So let's update the gold setup. So again, if you did reshort or shorted in general off of these highs, the trade's somewhat working, but again, we need to lose EQ to potentially make this move down. If we stay above EQ, the bulls are short term in control, and below EQ, bears are in control. So let's see what they managed to do here. Back below EQ and a trigger below 287.53, you can get paid out a little more if you're short or still holding those original sales. They never went red, by the way. Even on that pop right here that we had, if you did load them up here at the highs, you didn't go red. So just gave back a bit of the profits. Again, if GLD gets back over that level, that's your sign to exit, or at least for me myself. Y'all can do whatever y'all want, but back above 288, I'm gonna consider the trade short-term invalid. I'll look for another entry later. McDonald's pretty big bounce off those lows as well. So if you didn't take the 50% win, probably back to flat here or something. I'll check right now. And if you got a swing, it's cool. But if you're trading shorter term, same way it's a more aggressive trade. You got to be more aggressive to take your profits. You want to take passive trades, then you take passive swings with more time. But like, if you're being aggressive, you got to be aggressive with profits. If not, it's not going to work out. Majority of the time trading, you're just waiting, being patient. A lot of the times there's not really good setups or valid setups. You just got to wait for your setups to be validated, invalidated. But between ranges, I don't really like taking trades just because it's suboptimal. It's suboptimal, if I'm being honest with you guys. Can you still make money? Sure. But I like taking the best quality setups, and if it's not there, you're better off not risking your money. Trading is not about making money. Sure, that's the end goal, but the more you focus on not losing money rather than making money, you're going to be better off in the long run. So if you don't lose, by default you win. you just focus on not losing money, and you know, in the long run you'll do just fine. But if you're focused on making money as a byproduct, you're gonna end up losing money. So play defense, and then you'll get the offense, pretty much, type of a thing. But don't be super aggressive, especially if, you know, there are times you can be aggressive, but generally you want to be very passive and defensive. You can make money on the defense. The majority of these names are breaking out to the upside. And again, GLD is probably going to come back up to that 288 above their short-term invalid. Let's see what megas are doing. So small flip here on some of the megas. Let's go on a higher time frame. We haven't filled wicks yet, so let's see what happens. But there is a small flip in price here. You guys want me to keep the megas up, or you guys want to keep watching the stocks I have up here? Because I know y'all probably more interested in semis and megas and all that than these names I have up here. These aren't common names. And if anyone isn't in a trade and you're looking for one, let me know what you're working with, what you're looking at. I can share some trades I'm in, some setups I think are still viable. Yeah, bro, Pilo didn't reply. That boy for sure sleep. The whole morning drop, he ain't even gonna know it happened. Fuck, what was I gonna do? Oof. All right, Mega's starting to pull back a little more here. I'm gonna switch. I'll take this off. Put this up. No megas? You don't want to see megas. Alright, cool. I'll take them back up. Yeah, I'm not really touching on myself here too much. If you shorted a couple weeks ago, you have longer dated swings, you're doing okay, but I'm not really trying to put on much here. Even Spy's not terrible, but I don't really like it. Techniques, based off the technicals where we're at. Alright, so GLD is back into that zone again. So this is the moment of truth here. Again, if you are short or looking to short, this is a potential area to do it. If we do get above this zone, sells are going to be invalid on the short-term setup. Whoops, not what I meant to do. And we're probably going to come back into these highs. And then above resistance, like I said, we have a potential breakout to oof. On that little drop, the targets got a little more extended. So yeah, this has a decent amount of upside if they manage to trigger above there. Don't force those sells. So let's see if they manage to respect this 288 level. If they do, bears might stay alive short term, but above that, again, be mindful, because if they manage to break out, they can make a run and you're going to get squeezed on those contracts. So Berkshire coming down here a little bit, small gap. So I want to see that close before we put in more lows. But so far, not terrible, just because earlier when all the names were paying, Berkshire was not. And now these names haven't really moved much yet, but Berkshire's trying to pay here. So again, we have to close this gap before we make any new lows. But if we stay below that gap and push lower, we can potentially get paid out on that trade if you're in it. Keep an eye on gold here if you're in that. So levels are clean, but if we start breaking up above that, your probability of success is going to start being a lot lower above 288. So your choice. I let y'all know you could have get out here into support for 100%. If you decided not to, again, your choice. They're still up over 40%. So even on this pullback and this chop, you're still green if you took it up here with me. But no need to go red or break even. So definitely take it off if we start getting above that level. So there's a push. If they get closure above that, you've been hearing my comments, so watch for that closure. And Berkshire has that open gap here. So let's see what happens. Flipping my 3-minute timer. If within the next 3 minutes these patterns don't resolve themselves, meaning I see some type of selling pressure where it allows me to stay in my trades, I'm gonna go ahead and cut them here. I'd rather take a small win any day than a loss. See how the watch list is performing. Oof. So Costco I haven't mentioned today, but if we get this setup, just gonna share it with you guys in case it does happen. We have an open gap here on Costco from the earnings, right? So we gap down. This was the sales target we had. We got our sells. And there's this wick from 2 days ago, which was weird as fuck. We have an open gap above here. So if Costco, I'm not interested in the longs. Down here, I was interested, didn't do it, too late now. But if Costco at any point closes this gap, meaning I see it trade between 1,000 to 1,020, I'm more than likely gonna reshort the fuck out of it up there into those levels for this potential leg. So let's say we do go up there, you would want to see a reshort into this for this leg down again that we just had, and then potentially a leg even below that. So this is the setup here. You see how big this can be if they manage to trigger it. But again, back into that 1,020 level, I'll be reshorting if we get there. Berkshire filled that gap here. So anytime you see a gap like the one we had here, chances are it's going to get filled. So it filled this open gap. Now we have this open gap. So I want to see it come retest these lows before new highs, or you know, just come and sweep down past them. We'll see. Gold sitting on top of that resistance level, so if they manage to hold that and break out, obviously that trade is going to be invalid. Like I said, if we get back under like we're doing here and stay under, bears might have another shot here. But closures above, yeah, take those trades off. Still depending when and what you added, 25% on one, 40% on the other one. They just went up a little bit, 30 and 40 now. What you in, bro? You got weeklies for Berkshire? If you got weeklies for Berkshire, at minimum, wait for this gap close, because this gap is gonna close for like a fact. So this level right here is a given. Like, we will trade here. So wait for us to come into this level, and if you really want to cut them into here, because you'll get a little bit more money than you will up here. Well, if you're planning on cutting, so again, I'm telling you, we're gonna come trade here. So if you plan on cutting here, you're assuming we're gonna bounce off of this level. Or if we're already down into this level, why not just wait a couple more minutes and see if we lose it? But again, into here is a better opportunity to trim if you're 100% like sure you want to cut them. If you're sure on that, cut it here. You'll get a tiny bit more premium. Or set your orders now, so when we drop there, you get filled at above mid or ask or whatever. But again, you might as well just hold a couple more minutes and see if we flush down below that level. You've been holding it since, I don't know what time you loaded, but let's say you entered anywhere here Just give it a couple more minutes. You waited all this. Why not give it a couple more minutes, maybe another 15, 30, till let's say 8 a.m. If by 8 a.m. you don't get paid out in the next 30 minutes, take it off. Or like I said, do what you want, but you've been holding long enough, so why not just give it a bit more time? And if you're sure to get out, like I said, take it off into the zone. $5.30 weekly, April 11, 522.5. Up to you, gang. I would try to hold a bit longer, but if you want to get out at any time, feel free, bro. I can eat the last. I know you rather save up capital right now for better trades, and I respect it, bro. If you want to take it off, run it. But I'm gonna hold on to mine for a bit longer. I still think it's a decent setup. What else are you in, bro? That also matters a lot. If you got anything else in your port, you got to balance out type shit. But if that's your only bearish trade, why not hold it a bit longer? If you want to send me in the Discord what you in, let me know, bro. Pilo just woke up. Oh, there's a breakout on GLD. Just keeping the risk in check. Yeah, just let me check. I'm back. I mean, I've been here, but I was reading some text. All right, so this is the top of the range here for gold before the next leg. So maybe we'll get a little bit of a pullback retest where we broke out from before a new leg higher, or if they fail to hold the zone, potential flip from there. But again, at these lows mentioned, taking off your profits. And if you didn't, let you guys know if this was broken out of, the setup would be invalidated. So if you're still holding on to those sells, not sure what to tell you. But this is the current path. As long as we hold above that 288 level, we'll come to the 786, which is like at 288.55, 288.60, before potentially trying to break out from the daily highs. I'm gonna go on mute for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go make some more ASMR. Y'all trying to hear the keyboard? I'm gonna post a video. Hold up. I got you. Oh shit, I think I closed it. Bro, I closed the stream, I think. Fuck. Yo. Am I still live? That's what I get for fucking around. Oh shit, I'm still live. Bro, I closed some browsers on accident. Alright, there, I'm done fucking around. Nah, yeah, I'm gonna go on mute literally real quick. Go get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Get the Diddy or NFP. Maybe, bro. You just gotta be mindful of the levels on the weekly. What happens if we break out $10 to the upside instead of 10 to the down? And then NFP's till Friday, bro. So what, you gonna hold Theta Crush for 2 days? Like I said, I still think Berkshire is gonna come down to those lows. So if anyone's not in the trade, you want to potentially scalp any of these shorts. Not a terrible area. And I want to see if gold falls below 28.30ish, 28.25 here. But I'll be right back. Let's see what the premiums are at before I take off. It froze. Okay, y'all see my shit, or is frozen? Yeah, Berkshire looks good for a starter here if you never took it. Alright, y'all can see it for sure, for sure. PG back to flat. McDonald's flat. Gold still green, 30% from OG entry. Berkshire prices ain't bad here. Let me check what else. Yeah, not gonna lie, McDonald's is probably one of the cleaner setups here. Shit. Assuming we break down from here, if we break out, we have that Wickfield 2316, so be careful if you are short. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So we got that pullback we discussed on gold here, retesting these levels. Now, moment of truth, if they really do want to break out, they're gonna have to come in and put a higher high above this high, or a potential new low below this low for a breakdown. But this is your current range on gold. Let's get rid of this. So high, low, until we don't break out of this. You don't do anything. So above this box, break out, below, break down. But at this point, not much to do in this little mini range. Then we got small pullback on Berkshire. Still want to see you just come test that 532.86 one more time. And then McDonald's flagging here at the highs. Still early. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, I don't think tariffs are till on Forex Factory. It shows up at 1 p.m. I don't know if it'll happen before. Who knows? But if it is after hours, that's crazy. Because we had a coin flip spot across the market, in my opinion. And the fact that they're putting you at a 50-50 spot. And I'm pretty sure, I'll double check right now before I make these comments, but I'm pretty sure everyone's buying these lows. So let's get rid of all these drawings. Let's get rid of all this noise. Should we leave this? Should we get rid of it? I'll leave it for now. So this is your range, your playground, whatever you want to call it. You got highs, you got lows. At this point, you're at a suboptimal area, because if you test this, where we're right around the 0.5. The 0.5, again, all that means is that this is the midpoint of this box, high, low. Generally, I'd rather be short below the 786, so a breakdown like this, or let's reverse it. You're above the 786, so you could buy this, right? But coming into the 0.5, whichever way you flip it, the 0.5 is the 0.5. That does not change. That's going to be your point of control. If bulls manage to get above that 0.5 here, we'll get this breakout, right? But the 0.5 is technically a coin flip. This is equal ground. This is a tie at the mid ground. So just as easily as it is to do this, it's as easy to fade off of these highs and come retest the lows. And then if you come onto a higher time frame, you got your daily. So that would look like a daily breakdown here back to the lows. And then if you lose these levels, they probably line up over here. So if you lose this low, chances are you might go down to the August low. So that's the current setup. And again, we're at the 0.50. So 0.50, you're buying the breakout above the 0.5, or if you're a bear looking to short, you're shorting the 0.5 for a breakdown. And just to be clear, we can push up. Let's flip this again. We can push up into like the 786 before fading, or we can just completely go for those highs. Let me show you the, what day was it? No, it's not that far out. I don't think it shows up on here. There was a 587 wick not too long ago. I think it has to show up on Thinkorswim. I'll check. But long story short, yeah, the 0.5 is the 0.5 point of control. So it's a coin flip here. Bulls are in control above it, bears below, but I'm not really interested in starting trades in anything that is at the 0.5 because it's a binary reaction in my opinion. So SPY and Mega is not really touching, but that's where the market currently is, going into tariffs overnight. So it's pretty risky. If you're buying those lows and you know it goes up, whatever, but if you're short, let me check. Let's see where the volume's at. What did we have up here? Oh, I forgot, whatever. So not much volume today. Yeah, not much, honestly. But I would say they're leaning slightly on the call side. It's a free site if y'all want it. Drop it in the chat. Nothing that sticks out in the volume though. Pretty slow day. Bro, my window's closed and you can still hear the birds. Y'all hear him? Look at gold, there's the breakout we mentioned. So came into those lows and now it is pushing. The target is up here, and if it breaks out above that 288 resistance we mentioned earlier, the target's gonna be above 290. So let's see what happens once we deliver this target. But again, if you took the sales up here and you were paid 100% into support when I mentioned getting out, and you did not get out, let this be a learning lesson, but you cannot continue to repeat the same mistakes. If you got out break even or a small loss, doesn't make sense in my book. How you gonna give up 100% win? You would only leave Berkshire and PG. Let me check your text. I forgot what you were in. Oh, that's not bad. Cause you got mix of, yeah. You got 2 for the 11th and then 1 for the 4th. That's not too bad. You got some overnight exposure on weeklies and then some swings. Not bad. So we're going back into the area we originally fell from on gold. So I want to see what happens here into these levels. So this is where we fell from, right? This was the old resistance, will be forward resistance. What happens to the... So this is your resistance here levels. Above here, again, you're gonna get that breakout on gold. So I would not be short above those levels. I mean, if you want to retry the short here, I wouldn't do it. It's not the same setup we had earlier. Or here, it's more likely we break out than earlier. Earlier, it was a clean setup to the downside. It can still happen, but I'm telling you that upside threat is there. So just be careful. But we're technically right where we started, back at that resistance level. So not a terrible reshort, but probably not gonna do it myself. Well, gold, I like it because it has super low IV. And it's at all-time highs. Adding on the 350s? 350s? You mean 530s? 350s, what you talking about, gang? Bro, you got me confused. Come on, bro. No, I'm just playing. I really like the trade, bro. Not gonna lie, but I'm telling you, it's a coin flip overnight. So you already risked it for the biscuit. With J&J, it paid. I think these can pay too overnight on some tariff headline, whatever. So look. Just to be straight up, like, because I'm not sure exactly your numbers, but minimum or max, I mean, max, I wouldn't risk 50% of what you made on J&J. So I get it, you're trying to roll profits, scale the account, grow it aggressively, but it's pretty risky, bro. I do max 50% of your J&J profits. It should be under, but I get it. So if you can add and stay within 50% max of profits, and that's without your capital, whatever your initial capital was minus profit, I mean profit minus initial, that's what you have to play with, 50% of that. If you can do it within that budget, run it. But if not, I wouldn't risk it, because if you're risking half of your profits, it's like, bro, you're gonna give up more than half the bag if that shit don't hit. And I'm telling you, that's super aggressive. But if you're trying to scale up quick, that's the max I do. All right, so gold path, y'all obviously been here all day. Drop, called it, drew it. This was the target. We got the target, mentioned potential bounce off these lows, got the bounce. And then this was the target. Where the fuck, where'd it go? Did I get rid of it? Whatever, we got the target, right? So this was the breakout. We got the drop to retest the lows, broke out to here. Now we're coming down to do this leg here. So we need to retest this zone here. And depending what happens here, is going to be the next path. So do we bounce from here and do that breakout we mentioned, or do they give it up and go back to those lows? So at no point can you be confident in your setup. The tide can turn at any time, but let's see what they do here. They try to break out above the zone we mentioned, failed, and now let's see what they do into this box. So we get either this, or they're gonna go for that breakout here. So bulls must hold this box. If you're long, this is your must hold. If you lose this box, bears take over type shit. Let's focus gold for a minute. Let's see what this shorty do. On the 1 minute. Game looks a little messy on the 1 minute. So y'all literally, this is like pretty much how I break down price intraday. So y'all seen it from start to here throughout the day on GLD. That's pretty much how you do the technical analysis, but the technical analysis don't matter if you don't apply it and, you know, get in and get out when you're supposed to type. Let me zoom out real quick, see what everything else is doing, and then I'll go back on GLD. So Berkshire, somewhat of a flag here at these highs. Whoops. Want to see which way we break out, to the upside or to the downside, but pretty decent setup here. We either get the drop we wanted earlier, or they're gonna go for that previous steady high breakout, maybe even higher. And if you look at the weekly, shit, if they take out these highs, right, they can technically drive it higher to 550, 560, we don't know. The thesis was respect the previous week high, leave a wick, and push down lower, come down, lose those lows, right? That was the thesis. But if they start getting above that previous week high, you got to be mindful they can do this. So let's see what they do. Looks like they're going for the breakout. All right, let's see what gold's doing. So there's gold back at those lows that we drew up some time ago. Now this is the moment of truth. Are they gonna hold these lows and go for the breakout, or are bears about to flip the tide here? Small sound, T-Mobile, Berkshire, small pot, PM, small red on PG. Nothing crazy yet, but the main focus for me here is GLD. See what GLD does here. Shit. Oh, I could chat from here. So gold broke down here technically on the fast short-term comments. Not a great sign for the bulls, but it's not really a problem yet. Once we get down into these lows and below those lows, that's when the bears really take over. So bulls still have one last hope that they'll hold these lows and try to bounce from there. But if we do lose that, that's where completely the tide has shifted into the favor of the. Sorry, I got distracted by a message. That is the point where we'll flip back down. All right, so there's a test of the bottom range we mentioned. Now let's see what happens if they lose those lows. Bears in control on the lower time frame, but still no shift until we lose that. Small flip here on Berkshire off these highs. We got the target we mentioned right there to the penny pretty much. So flipping off these highs, if we stay below these highs, I think bears can make some headway. But if we start pushing them above 530, 560, it's probably gonna be a wrap. Look at that bounce on gold. Right off those lows. Perfect bounce. Now let's see if they do this. If they do this, like I said, they're gonna go for a breakout, probably above 290. So for now, this is your resistance right here. Let's see if they manage to respect that. But again, if they get above this box, the bulls are gonna go for that 290 plus breakout. They stay below it, bears is still in the race. But above this, bulls taking it 290 plus. Nice little move here on T-Mobile, but nothing significant. Small gaps up here. What time is it? 8:04. Damn, today's been kind of boring. Thought it was already like 9 or something. Shit. I'm gonna chill here. It's still early, bro. London hasn't even closed. So we talking about overnight action. We might not even have to wait overnight for this move to happen, but let's see. What y'all trading? Y'all trading anything? I mean, anybody in anything I mentioned, or anybody trading anything on your own? I should look at. Haven't. Let's pull up megas. So megas still around similar levels from earlier. Did Apple fill its weight? Not quite yet. Still has a tiny bit more of upside to fill that wick, if it's gonna do it. IW in short term. Okay, all right, so you're on stream. I'm gonna just make my comments so it's a little easier and faster rather than trying to type everything up. So the setup and the issue with IWM. No, you don't have to write there. You can reach out here. This is totally fine. You can reach out in the chat. I just rather cover it a little faster, you know, talking about it than doing a whole write-up. I'll do a write-up later on, but yeah, I'm gonna just answer you here. So this was my original setup on the weekly time frame for IWM, which triggered. It was a head and shoulders. This is the neckline, and you know, we got that. We're currently within this range. We've been trading within that range for about a month now. So the thing we have to watch for here is a breach of the lows versus breach of the highs, right? If you look left, the last time we were at these levels, we, you know, chopped around here for a couple months. So that is always a scenario you have to keep in mind. Same way we did this for some time, we can do something like that here for some time before, you know, making the actual move. So what I like to do is going back to a move like this, you measure the time. So this was about 210 days. Let's say 180, 200. That's a lot of time, right? So from here, you count the days. This would line up to about here. So again, if something like this happens, you just have to be prepared for it. I'm not sure what type of trade you're looking for. If you want to sell spreads, buy puts, get long, etc. So whatever trade you do decide to do, be mindful of one, the levels and the potential path. If we do something like this, you're probably not going to get paid out too much whether you were short or long, unless you're selling stuff. But what if we do just break down below that level and do this? So again, be mindful of the current levels. If we lose these lows, we're going to come down to here. If we hold them, we can potentially bounce back to the highs, no all-time high, small pop. I can't tell you how high we'll go, but that we can bounce off these lows. We can definitely bounce off these lows versus breaking down from this level. So that is the potential scenario off of here. But whichever side you do decide to take, just be mindful we can chop just like we did here, and they would end up killing premiums on both sides for some time before the next leg lower or whatever. But it's not terrible. Do you have a specific trade you're looking at? Are you looking at short? You looking at long this? Because we're still below point of control. The current point of control, or not current, it's been the point of control on my charts for some time, is going to be 200.80. So if they start pushing above 200.80, whoops, not what I wanted to do. Above this, what am I doing? If they break out above this level and take out the previous state high, this is going to be your breakout zone. It looks a little ugly down here, but this is going to be your breakout zone, right? So if they manage to get above that, you can go target your buy side liquidity, maybe even higher. But again, you got to be mindful that if we do not manage to get above these levels, we have liquidity down here. This is just the previous day low. It's not like we were just there yesterday. So we were there a couple days ago, we were here yesterday. Both sides are just as easily possible. So be careful whatever side you do take. Like I said, this is kind of a coin flip here, whatever side you're taking. But yeah, if we short fade off these highs, that's very possible. So looking at a pop to 210 in 2 weeks. If we manage to get above this here, that 200.80 and then 201.40, that might be a possibility, that path right here. But until we don't manage to get above those levels, I would probably not be long. If you're already long and you're holding for a breakout above that 201.40 level, go for it. I ain't mad at that. But if you're asking me to get long here into the highs, probably not the best idea. Let's get rid of these. And gold is back at the bottom of the range, so it's still fighting for its life at the bottom of this box. Bulls trying to hold the control, but if they start dipping under these lows, the bears get back in control. So let's see what happens there. And T-Mobile rolling over, PM a little bit. Berkshire, if anyone is not in a trade, this is probably one of the better trades to enter here for a potential scalp or a trade or a swing or anything. So this was the target for the pop. We got it. Like, as long as we stay below those highs, I really like this for a sell. So this is your previous day high resistance here. If we stay below, you can potentially see 530 today, $5 drop. So should pay you out pretty nice. Maybe not as low as 530. My target here is 531.50-ish, but even then, that's nice little win here. And then if we do break those lows, you have much lower targets where you can then potentially hold on to that trade for this move. But yeah, not bad here if you're not in it or in anything. If you're already super bearish, like on everything, then you don't gotta add to this. But if you're not really short much, or you're looking for some type of protection or whatever, this isn't a bad trade. If you own gold right now, yeah, Berkshire ain't bad, bro. If you want to nibble, for the one time. It has potential. I fuck with it. And then know your time frame, bro. Try to get a mix of stuff. So grab some shorter time frame in case you do get a big drop this week. You'll get paid out fat, but also get some longer dated just to be a little safer. You always want to put less capital on the shorter dated, and you'll deploy the bigger capital on the longer dated just because it's less risky. You can still get paid out really nice. You can still get those 500% wins and whatnot. You might not go 1,000%, but even 300, 400, 500% on a safer trade is super nice. So decent sell right here on Berkshire. Let's see what gold is doing. It bounced off those lows. So levels playing out so far. Let's see what they decide. Still below that resistance here. Berkshire, nice flip and sell here. So if you would have scalped into those highs, you'd be slightly green here. And then if you guys recall, I said it had these open targets. This is an open gap, and we're gonna go fill this. Watch. At minimum, we're gonna fill this. This is going to be our test on Berkshire. So anyone that was short, looking to get short, or just whatever, this is going to be your test here on Berkshire. So this level, I don't want you, I just want the box. This level we were watching earlier, so this level that we were watching for the open gap, once we come into that, you want to see if we bounce or we sell. Technically, I drew a bounce here. So you can potentially trim here. I don't like this one. You can trim here or exit, depending what you want to do if you were short or wanted to get short. And then if we do bounce into here, this would be your next resistance. You want to stay below that to get this next leg down, where you can again either trim or exit coming into support. So anytime you're coming into an inflection point or a potential support, if you were short, you want to consider trimming or getting out. And if you are doing the opposite and you were long, anytime you're coming into a potential resistance zone, you want to trim or exit. It's general, you know, just rule of thumb. Berkshire 530 put, I ain't mad at that. It's a little late. You're still good. You can still get in for a good price. But if you would have got in up here a couple minutes ago, you'd already be green, I don't know, a couple percent. At this point, what I would do if I was you is wait for a breach of this level here before you enter, or enter on a breach of this level, because we still have the possibility of bouncing off of this. So what you want to do as someone who is trying to short is see us lose this level and start pushing lower, right? So the minute we lose this, like we're doing here, that can be your potential entry. So if you want to take it, it depends, bro, to you. If you want to like really be like, I don't even want to call it greedy, just it's borderline kind of stupid because it's pretty risky. I like being safe. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I'd rather be defensive and be passive on my trades. So if you want to be safer, you can add time. But if you really want to risk it for the biscuit, you can run the 530 weeklies. And it also depends your time frame. I don't know if you plan on just scalping this, like taking the quick 50% win or whatever, closing it today. You plan on holding, you know, I don't know what your plan is, but weeklies aren't bad for a scalp. If you hold overnight, you run the risk of either making a fuckload of money or getting fucked on the tariffs. I like the higher time frame setup, so I might even host some weekly lottos overnight for that. But let's see what the levels trigger here. So again, if we don't get below this, maybe not the best idea to enter. Keep in mind, this was the original path. We got the pop, we got the retrace. We're holding the support, we can still do this. So if we lose this level, go for it. If not, refrain from shorting it. The short was at the highs, but let's see what happens here. And look at gold. Gold bounced off of that low, and now we're trying to break out above the top of this zone, which was the resistance. So more than likely, they're gonna try to do this. And again, if they take out the daily highs, which is this here, the resistance, they're gonna go for 290 plus. for oof. So Rossimo, you are okay to start longs. I'm not opposed to it, but I'd be very careful, just because I don't think the correction is quite done yet. If we do get a pop, they're probably gonna be short-lived. I'll share the chart right now, but I also, let's see, do I have it up here? I do not. All right, I'll pull it up here. So look, this was the original path, original chart on NVIDIA. I had drawn two original targets from up here. One was 112, which was delivered. The other one was or sub 90, so that has not been delivered, which is basically a retest of the August lows. Which you want to be mindful of as someone who is getting long here, is that we have not even put in a new high. So I'm not going to talk financials, politics, nothing. I'm talking pure technicals. You got to be mindful of all of your catalysts. But this is your previous day high, which we have not gotten over. This is your previous day low. You have a previous monthly low liquidity. So if you're trying to get long, the better longs, assuming we are going to pop, is on a breakout above this level and above the previous day high, right? So you can see something like this. This is the ideal goal. Come back and retest the levels we broke out from. But you also want to be mindful, we are still below these levels, right? So bears are technically still in control on these drops. And if they do this and give up those previous monthly lows, that's where you can have some type of scenario like this down into sub 90. And if you go back in time on NVIDIA, we have a huge open gap at 32.36, which I'm not going to tell you when it's going to happen, but I'd be willing to bet that NVIDIA is going to trade at those prices. Can't tell you when, but probably going to happen. So yeah, just be mindful. Again, if we get the breakout above, let's try to get you a tactical level. So between 110.60 and 110.50, that's going to be the level to watch. So your previous day high, right around there. If you get above it, you'll probably see maybe 113 today or tomorrow. But if they fail to get above those levels, more than likely you're going to come back down to test those lows on a path similar to this one. So it's either fade off of these highs or you get your breakout to here. So let's see. Holy shit. My bad. Excuse my French, but gold, what are you doing? That shit right into resistance and says psych. So you see, whether you're long, short, you got to be mindful on both sides. It was pump faking that they were about to go for the breakout, and literally they wicked out into the top of this little zone. So top of this little zone, right? Wicked out, and then I always wait for closure. Same comments here now. We want to see closure on the 3-minute below these lows. So closure below these lows and then continue pushing lower. That is the goal. If short. If they reclaim these lows, then, whoops. If they hold these lows, what am I doing, bro? If they, oh no, you got me fucked up now. All right, there. If we hold these lows, then you have this scenario. But I'm still aiming for the downside. So let's see. We're getting a fresh 3-minute candle open here. Now we want to see, do they push lower or try to hold this yellow box? Wouldn't it be bad when we keep going long? Nah, gang. Oh yeah. You mean one long time frame? Yeah, one long time frame. Yeah, I thought you meant long like calls. Nah. Yeah, you could do like one weekly and then one for the 11th or one for the what's after that, 17th or 14th. Let me check my cons. 17th. Yeah. So the 11th or the 17th ain't bad. Let's see what gold does here. And then what else were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about NVIDIA. So yeah, you have that set up on NVIDIA. And then Berkshire bounced off of that resistance. So you see how it's good to be patient and wait for a trigger. You didn't get your trigger here. If you would have bought these lows, sorry, not bought these lows, you would have bought puts at these lows, you'd already be down a couple bucks here. So let's see what happens, but much better reshort here at these highs for a potential breakdown, or again just wait for them to give up that level and then short on a breach of that level. So looks like gold is going to give us the breakdown. I'm gonna focus NVIDIA real quick, or should I do AVGO? Who's ran more today? I need my OTE meter. 15% for on NVIDIA. So AVGO looks slightly better as a trade. Bro, look at this. This was the 161. This was the 618, 161.61 level I shared with you guys. Perfect bounce off that level. I shared these levels back in February. This drop we called back there. Now the scenario is to go back to retest the point of control where we fell from, and you guys see the buy side liquidity. So this was the sales trigger. This is your buy side liquidity, which is your earnings candle. So if you were short, be mindful this is a possibility and go fill that. So if you're short here into 160s on semis and that scenario does happen, you're obviously gonna get, you know, it's gonna hurt. So don't be super short on stuff like that. And then this was the original bounce potential from here to that buy side. And again, I drew this in February before earnings wicks, before any of that. If we do lose these lows, these are your lower targets. 133.72 is your next target, and then 105.84. This is for AVGO. I'll do NVIDIA next, and it has much lower targets, so just be mindful of that. But this is where we currently are, trying to give us that breakout. Be mindful we can potentially leave a wick and then leave a wick and then try to drive lower, something like gold just did, if it even followed through. Not much of a follow through yet, but yeah. Ooh, yeah, not a good sign. I just noticed there's an open gap up here. So if you went green on that gold pot, be careful. They're probably gonna come back up here. So if you're still short gold, consider taking some off here in case they do come up here and break out. So there's no need to force trades, you know. If it doesn't pay, it doesn't pay. But yeah, that's your setup on the semis. So if you're trying to force shorts here, just be careful. And if you are long, be mindful that they can leave a wick above the zone and try to revert back to the lows. But the upside is massive. So anyone short, yeah, be careful. That's why I'm not shorting or touching megas or none of those. I rather focus names that are still at all-time highs. And GLD back above into that box. So we're gonna come fill this, watch. And there's a small flip here on AVGO. So again, I'm not long semis myself or really interested in touching them here. The shorts paid really well, and I'm kind of just waiting to see what happens here. If we do get the bounce, I'll let them bounce without me, and I'd rather just short on the top of the bounce for a reshort than trying to catch the long here, and we put in the new lows and I end up getting you know, a loss on that. So that's my trade plan for semis here. But if you are long and from the lows, great. Just be mindful they can pump fake here into the highs. Did you end up getting in Berkshire, bro, Joshua, or not? Remember I mentioned a few moments ago you could have potentially reshorted up here better than shorting down here. We're back at support, so this is the moment of truth again. Do we bounce from this, or are they gonna lose it? So let's see, but I don't know if you got in that or not. So watch that here if you did, and if you didn't, your potential entry would be on a breach of that level. Megas flipping a little bit here, and some megas do have open gaps to the downside, so let's see how that plays out. Berkshire still has that gap to the downside. Let's see if they play that. Alright, so there's the gap close on GOD I mentioned. So you see that open gap? There it is being filled here. Filled. So anytime you're in the opposite, an opposing trade and you see a gap like this, so let's say you're short here at the lows and you see a gap above, that I'd probably get out of that trade or try to minimize you know, exposure or whatever. And then similar comments on the opposite side. If you are long and you are up here per se and you see an open gap down here, like on Berkshire, high probability we go fill those lows. So stuff like that, just keep an eye on the charts. You can usually see these on the 1 minute. So if you're on a 1 minute chart on TradingView, you'll see stuff like this, which is what I mentioned a few moments ago on gold for that open gap. And look at open gap, fill, now potential rejection off that level, which is your R. Let's see what happens. But yeah, anytime you see an open gap and you're in the opposite side of that, not a good sign. If you're down here, you see open gap, you could get long for that, or vice versa on the sells. So per that same mindset and thesis, you would assume that Berkshire comes back down to at least 532, 80, 85. So shorting up here to there would give you about a $3 profit, which is not too bad. Sorry, more like $2. Not too bad. I'm debating taking off PG. PG's just chopping too. I'm gonna for sure take some stuff off. I don't want to hold out the risk overnight. PM coming down. Open gap here on PG, just noticed. GLD now above that level. Check chat. Close that shit. Look at the flip here on Berkshire. So if you got short on those comments here, you're probably gonna get paid down into that 533. And this is a fast trade. It's a 533. Decide if you want to book it, which is not a bad idea. Trim some, exit. If we get below that, stay below that, then a good hold. But again, we have the plan, quote unquote, end plan. So again, it's your plan. And trading doesn't have to be super complex. Something as simple as this: if we get into this level, trim or exit, and then if we put new lows into these levels, you can trim or exit some more, exit full. But it can be as simple as that. And then if we break out above this, full exit. So it doesn't have to be too complicated. But that's what I'm watching here. If we do break down from here, this is your first target where you would trim or exit, and then see if this gets delivered. And if we fall below this, that's where you can potentially get a big drop to these targets here. So let's see what we get. Whoops. And gold into the top range again, which was our resistance. So you see how this whole time gold has just been chopping within this box, which is why you should establish your range and generally try not to trade too much within the range, because you'll get chopped around. Just wait for a clear breakout either above or below, which right here, one candle came below, immediately reclaimed, one candle came up, immediately reclaimed. So be mindful of those fake outs, but still within range, nothing to do. Short the highs, buy the lows pretty much. PG, nice flip here below that 169.70 area, which was a tactical area we've been watching since yesterday. PM, nice flip. Yorkshire, nice flip. So great action here if you were in those trades. T-Mobile, nice flip. If anyone is in T-Mobile, is Pilo in T-Mobile? Let me check. I don't think so. Nice action on T-Mobile intraday comments. It's probably been the cleanest sell setup we've had in the day. McDonald's not bad either, but T-Mobile is coming towards the daily lows already, while McDonald's still at the highs, not near daily lows. So whenever I'm looking for a next potential trade or a trade in general, I want to I don't want to get into something like T-Mobile that's already at lows. I'd rather short McDonald's still near highs for a drop, or something like Berkshire near highs for a drop. Just makes more sense. But nice action so far. McDonald's, gold, T-Mobile. Oh, cool. He is in T-Mobile. All right, so quick comments. Resistance, top of the range, flip on gold, not a surprise, been tracking that action. And then Berkshire is finally going to come down, probably loses resistance slash support level, and come down to close that gap. So at that gap close, if you did short up here, like I said, that is your decision point. Do you want to continue to hold for more or get out? Or take some off, or whatever you decide to do. Also be mindful of this potential bounce. So if we do get this drop, we can bounce from this, retest this level before coming back lower. And if that does happen, again, if you get take them off here, you can reshort back into on the pop, or whatever you decide to do. We're just trying to give you guys the potential forward price action from these levels if you're on the in on the sells, just so you're not, you know, lost once we get to those levels, and you kind of have an idea of what you can potentially do as a course of action. Some people like being passive, some people like being aggressive. Whatever you want to do, just share the levels, you decide what you want to do yourself. There's the breakdown on the resistance here, wall support. So it was resistance, now forward support. So I'll get rid of this. Actually, I'll just move it over. R/S. So that's that level right here. Gold flipping off those highs. McDonald's, nice sell here. PM, new low of the day, so that's great action. I need PG to catch up and put in a new low as well. McDonald's new low, T-Mobile pushing towards the lows. So good soup, good soup. If you took any of these sales, I shared all these. I shared PM yesterday, which you could have shorted up here. Shared PG, shared T-Mobile, shared McDonald's. Everything's paying except for Berkshire. Berkshire's gonna start paying here soon. And then gold. But other than that, I think everything's been pretty green. Unless you pilo. If you pilo and you slept in, yeah, we know about that, bro. Yikes, yeah, you missed the game, my bad, bro. I try to get you in on it. Up here, I say either on the breakdown or at the top right here on the pop. But yeah, if you didn't get in, getting in on the puts here isn't a good idea because we're coming right into the open gap target. So into here, like I said, you're either trimming some exiting, hoping for the breakdown, but be mindful we might get this bounce right here before and retesting that support level before, you know, making new lows. So just be mindful here. Yeah, don't buy her. Breakout here on gold, or trying to. T-Mobile left a grip of gaps to the upside, so I would not be surprised if they do pop here, close these gaps before potentially making new lows. PG at the lows, nice. J&J, still no new lows. So I'm glad I took those out yesterday. Berkshire, there it is. So not quite, needs a couple more cents, maybe like another 9-10 cents to drop to fill that gap, but just about there. So if you've been here, you know what you're supposed to do here. We mentioned the scenario, and the thing about trading is you can't come into the spot and say, oh fuck, what am I gonna do, what am I gonna do? Like, you should have been decided when we were up here what percent you were gonna sell here. You could already have preset orders, you could have take profits, you could do many things. That way when you come into these points, you're not rushing wondering, fuck, should I sell, should I not sell, how much do I sell, at what price? Like, everything's already pre-calculated way from up here. So when you into these levels, you chilling. You could be kicking back like, yeah, TP hit. Instead, you down here like, oh shit, what do I do? What do I do? So always premeditate and always know, have a trade plan before. And like I mentioned up here, know what you're gonna do into here. Are you gonna trim, exit, hold, potential bounce, etc.? So you know the scenarios, and I'm not telling you which one to do. One day we might get the flush, one day we might not. One day we might go into a shoulder and roll over. One day we might break out to new highs. Like, every setup is different, so I can't tell you one specific set of rules that is going to work all the time. You just got to pick and choose, you know, try your cards type of a deal. But you there it is, fill the gap and left the new gap. But yeah, that's how that should go. So at this point, what are y'all doing? You trimming, you holding? I'm holding, by the way. I don't have big size on these trades, but I do want to get paid out, right? Yeah, small win, but I'm telling you, I would want to get paid out more on these. These were trading at... How many days ago was that? Damn, that was a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, those Berkshires were trading for like 3.7K. So I don't need all that, but just let me get a little piece of that. Good suit. That would be a drop into these lows. That would be pretty clean. Gold still within that range. So again, anytime there's a range, you're better off just not trading it or being super tactical, which gets kind of annoying. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. You got to be fast. You got to be patient, disciplined. So in my opinion, you better off just not touching ranges. Wait for the breakout or the breakdown. I'm talking about small time frames like this. Higher time frames, you could definitely take advantage of it. But fast scalping like this, not the best. At least not for me. Red Pilo, where's bro at? T-Mobile still has downside targets, which makes me think PM isn't gonna hold that GP here. And then PG's lagging. I'm a little butthurt. I got greedy. I went personally with more size on PG over PM, just because PG has more meat on the bone. It has, you know, about 10 more bucks potentially. And I went for that, but PM was the cleaner trade on the technicals, and that's showing here. So would have paid out a little more if I went heavier on PM over PG, but it is what it is. That's why you diversify, put a little bit in different trades. One is gonna hit more than the other, but that's why you get a little bit of everything. Look at Berkshire, good suit. So lost that level, no bounce, filled the gap, now trying to flush. Potential next targets down here, like we mentioned earlier. Move this box over here. BRB, BRB. UNH 2, I didn't take it. UNH looked clean. I didn't take it, but that shit coming down too, so it's a good for price action. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna probably stick around max maybe another hour until Lonnie close or something. I'm probably gonna start wrapping it up here soon. So you kind of have the trade plan going forward from here, whether you want to stick on the charts and watch them, or just set set automatic orders, conditional orders, or whatever to get you in and out of trades. To each his own, but you have the levels, you have the game plan. I'd rather go get breakfast, go hit gym, enjoy your day, etc. That's one thing I like to teach. You don't have to be on the charts all the time. Even if you're working, you got other stuff going on, you got school, whatever, you can do something called conditional orders, and you don't have to be on the charts. Just as long as you understand the levels, the trade thesis, how stuff works, and obviously how to even place a conditional order, you can do things like that. So you could be away from the screen. If an order go, for example, let's do Berkshire. Up here, we mentioned getting short. Let's say you set a conditional order stating if Berkshire gets to this point, which is 535.60, you're gonna get me short. So conditional sell. So conditional sell meaning if it gets there, it'll start a sell for you. At the same time, when you do that, you can do a conditional take profit, conditional TP. So you don't even have to be at the screens, just by knowing the levels. Hey, he said get short here, exit here. You do a conditional sell, conditional take profit. While this whole trade took place, instead of sitting here, let's count the time, for 45 minutes, instead of sitting in front of the computer for a whole hour, you could have set the orders just by hearing the comments, seeing the levels, etc., and not have to watch paint dry for a whole hour. So if you're not using conditional orders, definitely look into them. But that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set orders throughout the board. PG, fuck yeah, let's go. Finally, I was just talking shit about you. I love you. I was talking shit that PG wasn't paying like PM, but come on. But you guys see my comments, right? These are the low of day PM. We're way below. We're still not below got tongue tied. We're still not below low of day on PG. So that's the divergence I'm talking about. I want to see PG go to low of day like PM did and some lower. So that's why I'm saying PM would have been the better trade, which I knew per technicals, but my greedy ass said I need the extra 10 highs. So it is what it is. Hope I don't end up regretting it. And gold, same chop we've been in. And again, if we lose these lows, this is your path. But between the range, not much to do. Still resistance here. If you're not in a trade, technically Berkshire's not bad. They're still up a bit. I mean, not still, they're already up a bit. Got a small pop right here, tiny, but I still like the trade for someone who's not in anything. If you're in stuff already, then no. You clearly see everything selling off. You should be thinking about taking some profits off, rolling, etc. But if you completely miss this entire downside move and you're just like, oh shit, I missed everything, I never took a trade, I want to take a trade, and you're not in anything, Berkshire still looks like one of the better candidates. Since I didn't buy earlier, would you be an input price if I still want to get in it? I would still do the 530. Yeah, I would still do the 530. Being honest with you, you're grabbing weekly or what are you grabbing? For the weekly, I'd probably do 530 just because. Yeah, probably 530. But if you want to grab more time, because I know you said you might grab 1 in 1. For that scenario, let me check what's a good option right now. And I just want to be clear on this. Like, the good entry was obviously earlier. I'm saying it's not terrible here, but it's not the most optimal entry. So your call. This is something I'd maybe do. If you want to grab a swing, I would probably do I like the 520s for April 17th. Those are going for about 310, 335. If you want something a little more aggressive, you could do like the 525s for April 11th, but those aren't really that worth it. The two that I think are the most worth it is going to be the 520s for April 17th and maybe the 530s for the weekly. The 530s for the weekly are pretty risky. If you have a smaller account, I'd rather you put it in the safer April 17th. You're not going to get paid as much, being straight up with you. If the trade does hit, you're not going to get paid as much or as fast, but you're also not going to lose your money as fast. You got 2 weeks to manage the trade versus if you buy the weeklies and the trade doesn't hit within the next 2 days, or we gap up overnight or anything, you're immediately going to lose your entire money, pretty much whatever you put into it. So just be aware of that scenario. But yeah, if you got a smaller account, you're better off sticking with April 17th 520s for like 310, 330 maybe. And you can wait for this scenario we discussed, right? So I know you're working, you're not really looking at the screen, but we discussed a potential pop. So if we go into like 534, 533.80 maybe on this, I might consider, actually maybe here. Not bad. Yeah, nice pop here. So if you can get short below 534 and we stay under 534, that's cool. And like I said, you're probably better off getting the April 17th, especially because of the stuff we have overnight and the fact that you'll be busy working. You're better off taking passive swings to scale your account versus active, aggressive scalps. Just being honest with you, you're in the long run a million times better off if you just take passive 2-week swings. You'll grow your account faster, safer, less stress. You can, just trust. When I was working, that's all I would do. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, because you don't really have time to manage those faster trades. T-Mobile printing 2. Where's Pilo? Pilo's gone again, bro. T-Mobile at the low of the day. McDonald down a little bit. Pilo nowhere to be seen. Nice drop here on T-Mobile. Really nice drop. And the money on those here. I hate how many gaps it's leaving, but decent drop here. That's crazy. Gold finally, nah. I was about to say finally broke out of the box, but not yet. So Berkshire, not quite yet into the high, but far enough of a bounce here, in my opinion. So into these zones, not a bad short. I don't know if you got it, haven't got it, you still want to get it. But yeah. Let me know, Josh. Hit me in the YouTube chat or in the Discord. Let me know if you in or not, or if you gonna take it. But this is spot if you are gonna run it. Again, not as optimal as earlier, but viable. T-Mobile, real nice. Look at gold breakout finally above the zone. So this might be a potential bounce zone here. And Berkshire coming into that 534 zone we mentioned. My bad, managing some stuff. So Joshua, I don't know if you hear, you've been hearing the comments, you loaded, didn't load, but you pretty much got that 534 target here. I don't know if it'll go higher or not, but if you were gonna short, that was a spot. And then if it gets back above this level, maybe not viable. But if you miss it here and don't enter here, we do get the next leg lower. At that point, yeah, too late to enter, bro. So T-Mobile push and load. We're trying to. I'm probably hop off here, not gonna lie, y'all. Let's see before I hop off. No problem, bro. So all the new people, welcome. I'm seeing some new names like Anthony, Joshua. I already know who you is, but all the new people, y'all welcome. Feel free to ask questions if y'all got any questions about your own trades, your own setups, my setups, how I take shit, whatever. Feel free. You know, I'm not weird, fucking trying to hide game and shit. Like, just tap in, bro. But why do you say take the profit? Was on Berkshire, so that was a cool while ago, William. I'm not sure when you got short, what you did or not, but essentially, if you got short up here, you could have trimmed or taken some profits into that gap close. We mentioned we would probably bounce off that level, which we're doing here. You're asking, so I'm assuming you're still short. Essentially, the goal would be to roll over from these highs. Well, you would have wanted to roll over from here. The fact that we're already above that is a potential problem. You need to lose this level, and this is your first target, potential second target here. But again, there is no indication we're going to go there. We're moving straight up, and you need to lose this previous resistance / support level before you even mention any of these downside targets. We're currently pushing higher, so you need to flip back below this level before you potentially get paid out. So again, don't know what you're trading, your dates, expirations, none of that. So unless you want to give me some more details, be mindful of what you decide to do with your trade here. But again, if we get below this support level, this is a potential trade. First area of interest here, second area of interest there, and if we lose 531, we can have a pretty nice payday to previous day low. If we lose previous day low, that's where the big drop can potentially take place. But for now, you need to take it one level at a time. So lose support here, which we're somewhat doing, and then potentially see this drop. And again, don't know your time frame. Do as you please. You know, you can be aggressive if it's a shorter dated. If you have a little more time, then you might be okay to sit on those. The swings I have, I do plan on sitting on for a bit. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know right now, just because I'm probably going to end up hopping off stream here. Like I said, I don't really like sitting in front of the screen all day. I don't know why y'all would. Go enjoy your day. If you take a trade, define the risk, set the orders, call it. Like I said, do condition orders. For example, here on Berkshire, if you just got in, like William, I don't know again when you're in, but if you just got in assuming, you can set your stops, you know, above these highs and your take profits at these levels we discussed. Or if you don't plan on taking profits, you want to hold it because it's a swing, you know, do that, but you don't need to sit in front of the computer all day. So you guys all good? Anyone need help with anything before I call it? Y'all welcome to hit me up in the Discord. You know, I'll reply there, but just as for the stream, I'm gonna hop off. April 17, 520. Oh, that's great. You chilling? Yeah. So if you got the April 17th for 520, that's fine, William. You'll probably be fine with that. Just be mindful. So I already told everyone we got the Trump tariff after hours that can move the market in either direction. I don't see why I would be bullish, but it could spike up the market. So just be aware. You can be screwed on that just as easily as you could be up 10x, 5x, something crazy. So it's a lotto per that aspect, but I don't mind that trade. That's okay. Not gonna lie, bro, I don't really stream daily. I wanted to be a little more consistent, start streaming, you know, maybe 3 days a week or maybe even daily. But nah, bro, I like trading, but like I said, I like enjoying life too, you know. Go to the beach, go kick it, go do something, go whatever. You don't gotta be at your computer all day. Once you get the hang of it, you already got levels, you know how to trade, do conditionals. Like I'm telling you guys, you know, whether the trade is gonna hit stop loss or hit take profit, it's gonna do it without your input. You don't gotta wait there all day. Like either it's gonna hit or it's not gonna hit. You're not gonna influence price the harder you stare at the screens. It's like, oh shit, make the price fall, let me stare harder. Like no, you know, there's no point. You could be away from your desk, whether you're gonna make money or lose money, same outcome. Set those orders, go enjoy your day. But T-Mobile, nice drop here, new lows. PG, new lows. Berkshire's losing that support and it's probably gonna come down here maybe. Gold right above the box, but not much of a progress here. Again into the previous target, so previous target resistance right where we're at right now, or the high. But yeah, good soup, all of them paying. Yeah, 1 hour AM would be enough. So generally my pre-market plan is come on pre-market, look at levels, trade the open maybe an hour or two, and you're pretty much set for the day. Or maybe come into London, close, but yeah, you don't gotta be here all day. So all right, I'll catch y'all. Hit me in the Discord if y'all need some. Y'all see the levels. If you're green on anything, coming in to take profits, don't be too greedy. Make sure to trim some. But you should be green just on about everything I've mentioned the past few days. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream here, bro. My bad. I'm trolling on Twitter. I be trolling all the fucking time, bro. Alright. I'm pretty sure everybody paid, bro. If you've been here all day, there's no way you were not getting paid. If you were here yesterday, you've been here today, and you're not making money, you're doing something wrong, bro. Like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Joshua, you lagging, my boy. You were supposed to get in like an hour ago. If you still not in, I can't tell you how many contracts. The contracts depends on your portfolio. If you only got $100, how am I gonna tell you buy 10? You know, if you got a rec, I can't tell you go in with the rec. That's up to you, bro. I don't know what you're trading with. But generally, I like to get more than one contract just so you can reduce your risk at any time. If you only got one contract, the minute you trim, you're out the trade. But yeah, I can't tell you, bro. I don't know what you're trading with. But yeah, you got 2. I say less. You chilling then. And I don't know what you paid, but anytime you get into an order, make sure you get in at mid or below. And if you selling, try to sell at ask ultimately, but if not, at least above mid for show. But I'll catch y'all. Tap in the Discord if y'all need some. I think that would help all of us shooting the AM. We have the day to do whatever. Yeah, that's what I be doing. But all right, I'll catch y'all. Good luck. Don't be goofy. If y'all getting paid, take some. All right, peace, y'all.